So some unfortunate news coming out of Berea, Ohio. The Cleveland Browns second-round rookie safety Grant Delpit popped his Achilles on Monday. The LSU product is going to miss his rookie season, so that's not great. So first-year head coach Kevin Stefanski is now pretty thin, like Johan Santana ERA type thin at that safety position. So maybe, just maybe, the Browns will rekindle their interest in Vikings franchise tag safety Anthony Harris. Never let a good crisis go to waste, right? So now, I would say no. I do not want to move Harris. Number one, have a young cornerback room. You do want to keep the best safety duo in the friggin' league together. Two, Anthony Harris is the best free safety in the league, best coverage safety. Also, the depth for the Vikings at safety is also thin. Stephen Parker recently claimed Nate Metters, the converted cornerback, and then the two rookies, Metellus and Brian Cole second. Cool. Number three, I am not interested in Earl Thomas. Screw him right in the face. Like he is a runaway train of idiocracy. So no, I don't want Earl Thomas. So as of right now, no, not really into trading Anthony Harris, even if it is a 1-year rental on the franchise tag and he's going to go somewhere else. Maybe the Vikings can't afford him. You know, the Budda Baker 4-year, $59 million deal certainly throws a wrench into the Vikings plan because Harris certainly deserves as much as Budda. So I don't know. But, aha, everyone has a price. What if the Browns are so desperate that they offer a first rounder? Now, on the surface, you think, like, the Browns will never offer a first-rounder. You don't know. It is certainly possible. And the Browns had previous interest in Harris, and all of a sudden, they have a huge, massive need, and they could see that the Vikings and Harris potentially could be headed towards a divorce after his franchise tag. So maybe they're like, right. So the Browns had significant interest in Harris in March after the Vikings had just tagged him. Of course, Kevin Stefanski been in the building with Anthony Harris ever since he got here as a UDFA coming out of Virginia in 2015. So Stefanski, Harris, obviously familiar with each other, and Stefanski knows the caliber of player that Harris is. And a lot of people did think that Harris was tagged by the Vikings at the dawn of free agency just so the Vikings could trade him, right? So they wouldn't have to wait for a 2021 compensatory pick. They'll tag him, they'll trade him. It's been done by a number of players before, right? And the Browns and the Giants were in. They showed significant interest in Anthony Harris, but then the Browns and Giants scooped up premier safeties in the second round, Grant Delpit as well as Xavier McKinney, respectively. So all of a sudden that need just went away, right? So I don't know if the Vikings will work out a long-term deal with Harris next offseason. Again, that Budda Baker deal, not great, as well as if Jamal Adams gets paid before Harris potentially does, that will just add another notch to Harris asking for more. And again, if the Vikings saw Harris as worth the top tier safety money, probably would have paid him this offseason, but instead they compromised on the franchise tag, $11.441 million. Sure. So I don't know. I would like to see it. I don't know if it will happen. So if the Vikings take the approach of, hey, we're going to let him go after the season, we'll get a 2022 compensatory pick, which is just way down the line, right? But we could ship him to Cleveland now, strike gold, while the Browns are reeling, take advantage of their poor situation. It would make sense, since the Vikings would have a lot of leverage in those negotiations, more than they would have had when they engaged in them in March. So the Brown safety group right now is just straight trash. So they have Carl Joseph, the cast-off from the Raiders, as well as the remnants of Andrew Sendejo, who used to be great, but he's not anymore. And then maybe they convert Kevin Johnson or recently signed MJ Stewart to a safety spot. But, I mean, this far into training camp, that doesn't seem viable. I mean, they really did have all of their eggs in the Grant Delpit basket. I mean, Delpit is a phenomenal coverage safety. Not so much about that tackling life, but he was going to be a big part of the back end of their defense. So now, all right, so from the Browns' perspective, why would the Browns do this? They're the Browns. I mean, some homeless guy. We need to pay a homeless guy to walk up to Jimmy Hamza. He's like, trade for Anthony Harris. It could work. It worked with Manziel. B, obviously they have a lust and interest for Anthony Harris. C, I mean, They could gamble that they could work out a long-term deal with Harris next offseason. They do have the cap space to do it. And also, it's likely that Harris's agent and the Browns, when initial trade talks started off, that there had been some contact. So perhaps there's already some parameters, a framework of a long-term deal in place. So even though the Browns can extend him because the deadline for the franchise tag guys are gone, they could already have that part and parcel, wink, nod, handshake deal in place. As well as, I mean, hell, like I said, if they give up a first-round pick for Harris, and then they don't extend Harris long-term for whatever reason, and then 2022, if a team does pay Harris, they get a third, fourth, fifth-round compensatory pick in exchange. So, and especially if it's a third or a fourth, it's a bit of a wash. So essentially, you have 2 rounds of value for a guy for a season that you think that you could be contending in the AFC North. Fine. As well as if they do extend Harris long term and the Delpit comes back at full strength, I mean, that's not a bad combo. Even though both of them are primarily free safeties, I think Harris's work down in the box is underrated, and also it's a hell of a lot better than Delpit's. No. All right. So again, not advocating this. Like I would. Although it's tempting. I mean, a first-round Cleveland first-round pick could be pretty damn high, depending on what happens this season. I believe in Stefanski, but you never know with this unit in that city. So, again, we're not advocating it. I definitely want to see Anthony Harris in purple this season, as well as this late into training camp. I mean, we're going to get Stephen Parker in there. I don't want to sign Earl Thomas. I do not like green eggs and Earl Thomas. I don't. No. But, I mean, if Browns GM Andrew Berry calls up Ricky and you're just like, what's up? I mean, Spielman should listen and then just work it. Use that leverage. Get a first and a fourth and David goddamn Putney just because I feel like it or something. I don't know. All right, so your thoughts. Vikings still trading Anthony Harris to the Browns? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol. Production value.